Peppers can be incredibly rewarding to grow, but they can also be surprisingly fussy if a few key conditions aren't met. Whether you're growing bell peppers, jalapenos, or sweet banana varieties, a few simple techniques can make the difference between weak, underwhelming plants and a bountiful harvest that keeps giving for months. Let's walk through 10 straightforward tips that anyone, urban gardener or backyard grower, can use to grow healthier, more productive pepper plants. Start with warm soil and strong light. Peppers love heat, and planting them in cold soil is one of the easiest ways to stunt their growth from the very beginning. If you're starting seeds indoors, make sure to use a heating mat to keep the soil temperature around 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Once they sprout, give them strong light, either from a sunny south-facing window or grow lights, to avoid leggy, weak stems. Outdoors, don't rush your transplanting. Wait until nighttime temps stay consistently above 55 degrees and the soil feels warm to the touch. Harden off before transplanting. Sudden transplant shock can set your peppers back weeks. Gradually expose them to outdoor conditions over a week to 10 days. Start with a couple of hours of shade, then gradually introduce full sun and wind. This transition helps them build stronger cell walls and root systems to handle the outdoor elements, especially if you're planting in raised beds or balcony containers. Choose the right spot. Peppers need full sun to produce heavy yields, ideally 6 to 8 hours a day or more. In cooler climates, position them near a south-facing wall or in a spot with reflected heat. In hotter areas, a little afternoon shade can help prevent sunscald on the fruit. The soil should be well draining but still retain enough moisture to stay evenly damp between waterings. Feed the soil, not just the plant. Before you even plant, it's really important to prep the soil. Peppers thrive in rich, well-aerated soil, so work in plenty of compost or worm castings to build fertility. If your soil is heavy clay or maybe a bit too sandy, consider amending it with coconut coir or aged leaf mold for better texture. Oh, and garlic, basil, and onions make great companion plants for peppers and help repel common pests when planted nearby. Use a balanced organic fertilizer. Peppers need nutrients, but timing matters just as much as type. Early on, a balanced fertilizer will support strong root and leaf development. Once the plants start to flower, reduce nitrogen and shift to a fertilizer that's higher in phosphorus and potassium to encourage blooming and fruit set. And avoid overfeeding, which can lead to lush foliage with, well, just a few fruits. Prune early for a bigger harvest. One trick that seasoned pepper growers swear by is topping the plants early on. Once your seedlings are about 6 to 8 inches tall with 5 to 6 sets of leaves, snip off the top growing tip just above a node. This simple action encourages branching, which means more flowering sites and a potentially much larger yield by harvest time. The resulting bushy plant is also sturdier and more resistant to wind damage. Keep the water consistent. Inconsistent watering is, honestly, one of the fastest ways to ruin a pepper crop. Drenching them one day and then letting them dry out the next can lead to blossom end rot, curled leaves, and even stunted fruits. So, try to keep the soil evenly moist but never soggy. Drip irrigation or bottom watering is ideal, and mulching with straw or compost helps maintain steady moisture levels and keeps those roots cool. Alright, so watch for pests and diseases early. Peppers can attract aphids, spider mites, and even hornworms, especially when the weather gets warmer. Make sure you check the undersides of leaves regularly, and, if needed, introduce beneficial insects like ladybugs. Neem oil or insecticidal soap works well if you catch infestations early. Also, keep an eye out for fungal issues like powdery mildew, especially if your garden doesn't have much airflow. Try to avoid overhead watering and give each plant enough space to breathe. Support your plants. As pepper plants start to produce, their branches might struggle under the weight of developing fruit. This is especially true with varieties that produce large or heavy peppers. Using simple stakes, tomato cages, or horizontal supports really helps keep them upright and prevents those branches from breaking. Supporting the plant allows more energy to go into fruiting instead of repairing damage. Harvest early and often. Once peppers start to reach their mature size and color, don't let them sit too long on the plant. Frequent harvesting encourages the plant to keep producing instead of slowing down. Use sharp scissors or pruners so you don't damage the plant. If you're growing sweet peppers and want more color, you can leave a few on the plant a bit longer, but keep the rest picked to keep the plant productive. Thriving pepper plants aren't about luck, they're really the result of a few consistent habits. Warm soil, steady light, rich organic matter, and timely watering all help create the kind of environment where peppers flourish. Pruning, fertilizing with purpose, and staying ahead of pests give your plants the best shot at delivering harvests you'll be proud of. Whether you're filling a patio container or lining an entire garden bed, applying these simple tips can turn any pepper patch into a summer-long success story. If you found these tips helpful and want more down-to-earth advice for growing healthy, high-yield crops, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this video with fellow growers. At Hydro Haven, we're all about making your garden more productive, one plant at a time.